The Patriots have spoken to Johnny Manziel before and after Texas A&M's Pro Day. Now, this is the second time Manziel has thrown in front of scouts. He was also throwing at San Diego's Pro Day. People got all outraged that there were scouts and GMs and coaches going to see Johnny Manziel these two times. As Albert Breer has clarified, that's not why they were there. Manziel's agent has done a very smart thing. He's had Manziel at these pro days to throw to wide receivers. What pro days are, schools inviting scouts, GMs, and coaches to come see their prospects. So San Diego University says, we want you to see our players to help them get drafted. They're in a familiar, comfortable, controlled environment. They're not the combine. They're here on our turf. You come see them. And what San Diego did was say, okay, and Johnny, you're our camp arm. You're just going to be the guy throwing it to the wide receivers getting scouted. And this was clearly some type of idea of Manziel's agent and his guys. At A&M, his alma mater, he went back into the same thing. And so he's gotten in front of scouts even though they didn't come to see him. Smart play. The Patriots reportedly had conversations both before and after A&M's Pro Day with Manziel. And there were reports when Manziel was coming out of A&M and getting drafted that they were at least intrigued and had conversations about Manziel. Now, this feels like it doesn't make any sense. That if there was one organization that would not put up with the nonsense of Manziel, his lack of commitment to football, being a jokester, a prankster, playing the moron role, flying out to Vegas, blowing off a game, all of the things that Manziel has done is exactly the opposite of the New England Patriots. The exact polar opposite. So why would they be interested? Well, here's the deal. The Patriots are always interested in other people's trash. And that is part of the way they have built this dynasty. Most of the way they've built the dynasty is on the back of Tom Brady, arguably the greatest quarterback of all time. Brady makes everything else seem smarter. He does. Danny Amendola was a nobody. Julian Edelman was a afterthought. Wes Welker was invisible for the most part before they get to New England. Nobody remembers David Patton or David Givens or Deion Branch unless they're playing with Tom Brady. Brady makes every decision seem smarter. Chris Hogan's goes from a nobody to suddenly catching touchdown passes. Danny Woodhead is a scrap heap, toss in the trash, former New York Jet. He shows up. I'll never forget his first day in Foxborough. I was in that locker room looking at him going, who brought their kid? We all said that. All of the assembled media said, what? Did Matt Light bring his son? Is this Brady's nephew? Danny Woodhead was nothing before he gets to New England. Tom Brady makes people look smarter. But the Patriots also have taken chances on guys that are other people's trash. Rob Gronkowski has turned into one of the greatest tight ends ever. Gronk slipped on draft boards all across the NFL because Gronk had back issues in college. And a guy, a big man who was very physical, playing tight end, who had back issues and back problems in college, certainly was going to scare off a lot of GMs. Patriots took a chance. Aaron Hernandez, knowingly, everybody in the league knew he had gang ties. I mean, the guy was involved in a shooting incident on campus in Gainesville. Most didn't want to touch him at a time where Roger Goodell was coming down hard on player behavior. Patriots took a chance. Albert Haynesworth, a guy that ate his way out of Washington, stomped his way out of the league, a guy that was basically a bad dude in everybody's mind. Patriots took a chance on him. Why? Why do these things keep happening? Corey Dillon, A sulking, miserable, mope, bad teammate in Cincinnati, Patriots took him on. Why? The Patriots forever have realized they won't draft high enough to get top-end, top-tier talent. So they've got to find solutions in other places. They'll never draft in the top 10, ever. Even after Tom Brady is long and gone, even after Bill Belichick floats up to the heavens, my guess is the Patriots will never get the number one pick. It just feels like that forever. So they've got to look at other people's trash. They've got to bring in guys that were drafted in the top 3, the top 5, the top 7 that have blown out other places. There's a reason Randy Moss was on their radar. Randy Moss in Oakland admitted, I play when I want to play. He had mooned or pantomime mooming in Minnesota. People said, we can't have this guy. He's a malcontent. He's uncoachable. He doesn't want to play. Patriots said, we'll take him. Why? Because they said, we'll never get a talent like Randy Moss unless nobody else wants him. We need guys that don't have opportunities other places to keep them on the straight and narrow so that we can get what we need out of them and that they're available to us. So in a lot of ways, Johnny Manziel makes a ton of sense for the Patriots because where he was drafted, he was never probably going to fall all the way to the Patriots at the end of the first round. He had top-end first-round talent. I don't know if he does anymore. He's 25 years old and has put his body through a meat grinder. But it doesn't surprise me that Belichick is going down this road. He'll always look for other people's trash. He's a garbage picker. The dude in your neighborhood that goes through your recyclables to pick out the cans and the bottles, that's Bill Belichick. And you're like, that's not a bad idea, but I don't want to get my hands dirty, and I don't want to dig through people's trash, and I don't want my hands to smell like old beer, and I don't want to push around a shopping cart. Bill Belichick doesn't care. He's dressed like a garbage picker anyway. That's what he does. Does it work? Look, I don't think that Johnny Manziel makes an NFL camp until he makes another league's camp. I think he's going to have to go to the Canadian Football League. I think he's going to have to go to the XFL 2.0 or this Alliance of American Football. I think he needs to go somewhere else and prove that he actually is focused on football before an NFL team gives him a shot. I just think there's too much risk. There's too much attention on an NFL team to bring in Johnny Manziel as a scout team guy. I mean, really, you can get a better scout team guy. Scout team guy doesn't do anything much for you anyway. So why would you bring in a guy that has baggage? But if Manziel goes somewhere and simply proves over the course of a football season it was all about football for him, yeah, then I think that bidding opens back up. I don't know if it's going to be high bidding, but I could see NFL teams being then once again charmed by Manziel. But how would you ever be able to tell right now if he really cares about football? How could you ever tell? He might care about football right now because he's broke. He might care about football right now because he misses celebrity. He might care about football right now because he wants to be a baller at the club with chicks dangling all over him and people that care about his social media. That might be the reason he wants to get back into football. So how could you trust him right now to be a quarterback, even a scout team quarterback? Again, why would you take that risk? But for the Patriots to show interest in Manziel doesn't surprise me. Call him Johnny Foxborough.